Here's some interesting news from Trumplandia. The President of the United States of America puts out a new perfume. That's right, folks. The President of the most important country in the world is selling his own fragrance. Good Lord. It's called Victory 4547 for Women President Trump. Seriously, that's the name. Lest we forget he's the president, how many times he won, and that it's all about the victory for him. It has a small golden statue of a thin Donald on top of a pink bottle embellished with his massive signature. That's right, him on top of a woman's cologne. It reminds me of those men who say it's emasculating if the woman is on top during sex. Oh, and it costs $249. If you get this and 2 Bibles, you just cleared $500,000 to support their leader. King Orange sells Bibles too. They're $99 a piece and have God Bless the USA on the cover. How about the rest of the world, Donnie? It's not all about you, you know. What am I saying? Of course he doesn't know that. One of the Bibles costs $1,000, but it's signed by the king, so obviously I'm just jealous. Well, presumably signed, because it looks like a print of his signature to me, but what do I know? But back to the fragrance. I don't think I've ever mentioned it before, but I'm a huge perfume lover, and my go-to fragrance site that I use for reviews and perfume notes, sillage, longevity, and everything perfume is called Fragrantica. The site has a wonderful community of perfume aficionados, all usually very willing to share helpful tips and supportive ideas about the perfume they own, what they smell like on the skin, how long they last, etc. One of the loveliest communities I've ever seen, really. Well, not this time. You should see the comment section of Victory 4547 for Women President Trump. People are going crazy. Fragrantica has just turned into a political debacle. Who would have thought? I enjoyed it though, so I selected some of the comments for your entertainment, and I laughed. And you will too, I promise. Enjoy. For example, and I have them written right in front of me. Somebody says, top note is pure orange and smells just like a tanning salon. The middle notes are Big Mac and Diet Coke. The base notes are cheddar, bread, dough, moolah, and Benjamins. I think it's a very polarizing scent that traditional women will love, but progressive ladies will hate with an almost murderous passion. Yes, we will. Importantly, the Supreme Court just ruled that women can wear this in public without being guilty of a hate crime. This was a comment by Doggy McNuggets. Someone else said, that is tragic on so many levels, and how utterly appalling that the pig didn't even have the decency to put his third trophy wife on top of the woman's bottle of swill. But I doubt anyone would expect anything less of such a delusional, self-consumed piece of shit. Nice to see, though, that they spray-painted the recycled cat food can pink. I didn't think there was any way they could make it look cheaper than the sad man's version. Yet, lo and behold, they actually managed to lower the bar clear to the floor. Just wait until the pink spray paint begins flaking off that rusty tin can. The grift that keeps on grifting. This is a comment by Eastport. Somebody else said, the base notes of narcissism and bravado are quite generic for the Trump fragrance family, to be honest, but the dry down is where things get interesting. I mostly smell photorealistic steaming piles of bullshit, punctuated by an occasional waft of platinum blonde hair dye. I perceived not a single note of common sense, intellect, or command of the English language. Not a safe blind buy, not a safe buy in any circumstances, really. That's what Tamara Hope said. Or, Smells like authoritarianism, dementia lean, sundowning, and taking credit for fixing problems you started. Another fragrance for white supremacist fascist losers, this time for self-hating women by the skeptic. The bottle is cheap and tacky, just like the inspiration for this fragrance. The irony is that followers who have been whining about egg prices will be the target audience for this overpriced swill of a concoction. Initial notes of full diaper and piss that persist for its week duration. At the 10-minute mark, there are some hints of big, beautiful coal mixed with hairspray and a fake tanner. The dry down is disappointing, though. I thought ketchup and manly insecurity were supposed to smell fresher than this. Somebody else said, I'm so scared that this isn't a perfume. This is an orange self-tanner. It shoots bullets and tariffs and features the sex tape of Trump and Kim Jong-un. Wonderful. Smells like the Great Depression, bread lines, and unemployment by Taylor Westbrook. I agree. Smells like tariffs, rising prices, and stock market crashes. Yep. Smells like convicted sex offender and 34 felony counts of falsified business records. I love these guys. Smells like dirty diaper indoors and pissy Cass's influences create a perfect aura for any MAGA women by Swedish Milk 15. Shimmer's mom was much more direct. Base notes equals ass. No talent for economy, less for politics, and now a failure in fragrance too. Next. Top note, ketchup and bronzer. Heart, none. Base note, despair and dirty golf balls. A comment from Mora 11. Wonderful, Mora. I'm enjoying this one. If I win, I would like my fragrance to be delivered via either a red Tesla model or a B-2 stealth bomber. Currently wearing the Trump sneakers and typing this message on my Trump mobile phone. This is by Stank Frank. So regardless of one's political beliefs, putting an old male politician on a perfume in gold is pure dictator cult leader flavor of an economy. How does anybody take him seriously is beyond me. My dear, it's beyond me too, but they are. Somebody else said, this is wonderful. I'm sure it's the best ever. No one has ever smelled anything like it. There has never been anything that smelled better, I'm sure. By Alyssa. As someone who doesn't live in America, the fact this exists is bizarre. Why do the American people want to associate any smell with their political leader? What kind of senile, ass-kissing, boot-licking mentality is this? America is a reality TV show. Cringeworthy. Yeah. Oh, nice, said someone. Please do a giveaway for a Putin-inspired perfume next. Got one for Orban and Kim Jong-un? Wonderful. Now tell me these people don't know what they're talking about. As you can see, they're hilarious as fuck too. I'm very curious to know what a Putin fragrance would smell like, what Putin would put in his perfume. Russian pepper for a sharp, authoritative, and slightly aggressive tendency, maybe. How about Siberian pine to make it smell crisp and cold, like calculated diplomacy? Or maybe a gunpowder accord, the finishing touch of war criminals? Well, whatever it is, he wouldn't fill it up with taco essence, and that's good enough for me. Now, if you laughed or cringed or just need a shower after that, I know I do, give this video a like and share it with someone who needs a whiff of reality. Thank you for being here, my friends. Hope to see you next time too. Bye.